and there is a ton about the Witcher as well. We do have actually more updates here because we had the Witcher 3 related modkit released, and there is something interesting that people have found out. I will share with you on the screen. Then we had some interesting info that Doug Cockle, the voice actor for Geralt, has revealed, and I'm not sure if he wanted to actually reveal it or not, but obviously he will be, or Geralt will be, in The Witcher 4. There is a little bit more information about that as well, so I will share that. And then we do have some more info on the Witcher 1 remake. Yeah, there is some interesting stuff that's going on. So let me start with the Witcher 3 related information. Let me pull out my notes just that I don't skip something important. So in the Witcher 3 modkit, people have found some interesting stuff, and I do have to mention here on this spot, I follow xLetalis for a couple of years already regarding the Witcher content. I think it's the best channel on any Witcher content on YouTube, to be honest. Really very detailed vids with surprising stuff that people haven't found in the game, rare stuff, or even things that people are finding after 9 years of The Witcher 3 being out. So the channel from xLetaris is really great. And there was a vid not so long ago, a 30 minutes long vid, which is about a boat races. So actually, after the modkit was released, somebody restored this content, and obviously there have been some boat races. So let me play you that vid from The Witcher 3 with this restored content. I will not play the whole vid because it's taking too long, and I really don't want to take the spotlight away from xLetalis, but I will post the link definitely below as well. And please go to that channel and check out that whole vid because it was quite funny to watch. So let me just quickly go back to the screen with the vids, and I will just quickly play the vid for you. Witcher, here it is, and we have, let me just quickly skip through it. Okay, so we do have the boat races. This one is in Novigrad. I did skip to a certain portion of it because, as you can see, that's already the start of the boat race. If you don't mind, I will put on my headset because I want to listen to it as well. And yeah, I hope that, let me just switch. I hope that you will like it. Like I said, I will only play a specific short portion of it, but please go and check out the whole vid. It's quite fun.
Finally, we get to the actual racing.
And now, please join us for the race. May the best crew win. Take your places. Away you go!
Which, sadly, is also the main downside. In its current state, it's quite monotonous, and there is hardly anything cool you can do. Unlike horse racing, there is no equivalent to the stamina bar for the boats, or any other actions to perform, apart from simply holding down the accelerate button. Also, there is nothing similar to the horse saddles, no boat gear essentially, and so the two boats, yours and your opponent's, move at essentially the same speed, which 9 times out of 10 means that if you fall behind once, there really is no going back.
Ha ha ha! You haven't a chance!
Coupled up with other issues like the fact that the racetracks are incredibly basic and most collisions with the opponent's boat tend to affect you worse. Like, you collide and then his boat just continues while yours sort of stumbles around, which in turn discourages any real
I guess that was the main reason why they have taken it out.
Generally, it's not a particularly enjoyable experience.
Where'd you learn to sail?
Typical taunting us. Sailing in a straight line.
Sight to behold. Positively riveting rivalry.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm going to just mention here on this spot that if you watch the whole vid, you will see the boat races from all of the. I think there are 3 places, just like it was with the horse races, where those boat races are taking place, and you have various dialogue options, and you can choose different sides for whom you are going to do the race. And that's quite fun to watch. So definitely go and check out this vid. It's really worth it, right? So that one's really great. And then let me skip as well directly to the Witcher 4 and Duck Cockle, where he mentioned actually that he will be, or Geralt will be, in The Witcher 4. I find it funny that he was saying it in the same kind of interview or vid where he also was kind of complaining or mentioning that he revealed once something about a game that he shouldn't have, and then in the background, of course, the people told him, hey, careful, don't do this again. And I think now he said again something, so yeah, it's kind of funny. So let's listen to Doug a little bit.
Heart, which is pounding like a liar's.
Witcher 4 has been announced. I can't say anything about it. What we know is that Geralt will be part of the game. We just don't know how much, and the game won't focus on Geralt, so it's not about him this time. We don't know who it's about. I'm excited to find out. I want to know. I have not seen any script yet. I have not. I couldn't tell you if I did. This is the thing. So, I could be lying through my teeth. But I'm not. Or am I? Okay, so these
yes,
lines.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good bit, actually, by the way, as well. So he's answering questions about if he's remembering like his own lines from either The Witcher or some other games where he was the voice actor. So he said, as you could hear this, and I think that is also the spot of discussion for The Witcher 4, where I have seen a lot of like people are split kind of into 2 factions. There is one faction that want Ciri to be the main protagonist. Let me switch the screen back again so you can see me better. So I think there is one faction which is more on the side of, hey, let Ciri be the main protagonist, and then there is the other side of people who say, yeah, while it's nice to play, to have played the Ciri in The Witcher 3, we would actually appreciate to have like maybe a customizable new Witcher from a new Witcher school. And here I think that's the important bit. We have seen that there will be a new Witcher school, which is the School of the Lynx. And I don't believe that if Ciri would be the main character, that we would see, let's say, the main marketing so far focused that much on that medallion from the new Witcher school. So I do believe that there will be a new Witcher. Geralt will probably be there as an introduction character to this new character. I could imagine that probably he will meet another Witcher somewhere on the path, and maybe they will exchange some stories and some discuss something, and then the new character will take over and we will start to follow that new character. And also, when I understood the devs correctly, they are actually planning to do like a new trilogy, so it would make sense that it is a new Witcher, not necessarily Ciri. I'm not sure how they could do an entire trilogy with Ciri. Yes, she's a relatively young character, but it is a Witcher. It should be tied to a Witcher school. Ciri is not a Witcher per se, right? So I do believe it makes more sense to see a new Witcher character, which will accompany us throughout the new trilogy, because this is something completely new, and because we will have a new school, a new Witcher, a new protagonist. Probably we will get a lot of new characters and an entirely new story. So this will be something that is where the game devs do not have like a preset story by Sapkowski. In the first Witcher trilogy, they were heavily relying upon it. Yes, of course, they went off canon here and there, but in general, what I really liked on the original free Witcher games was that they were really keeping that canon and lore in terms of the world building and the places where you are, the people whom you meet. So I would say 80-90% of it was really based on Sapkowski's books and Sapkowski's lore. And that's why also it was such a huge success and why people have appreciated it. There is a big question mark now what is going to be happening with this new trilogy. It will be taking us somewhere completely else to a different place, I guess. It gives the game devs a lot more, let's say, creative options in terms of world building. Maybe they could go to Zerikania or Hackland, so we would probably see something completely new and different. Or maybe we would see more of Nilfgaard. It's also a good question. And playing a Ciri would be okay, but would be awesome to create your own character and have Geralt as teacher. Exactly. So I do believe that the new character would be welcomed by a lot of gamers. And I think if we would get actually like a customizable character, people would be absolutely happy because you could like create your own Witcher. Especially for me, it would be great. I'm always playing around with the character settings, so I really don't care if it's a male or a female character, and here in this game it makes sense. It's a male character, it's a Witcher, so it makes lore-wise it makes sense to have a male character. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. Maybe Ciri will have like a small part there as well. We don't know, but I think because she was so beloved in the third game, that probably maybe the devs will do something and she will just pop in there. I mean, she can jump through space and time, so maybe she will pop up there. So I would definitely love to see her. Yeah, I think it will be great to see what the devs will be doing with it. I think the creative options are great, so that one really gets my attention. Let me pull out my notes as well for the Witcher so that I don't forget something more. So we did discuss that. I will post a few links as well after this stream in the separate vid with some new projects that CDPR has listed, because I'm sure that you have heard that they are also working on a new Cyberpunk game. So they are planning a Cyberpunk sequel, but first of all they want to focus fully now on the next Witcher game. And also what's going to happen will be the Witcher 1 remake. But regarding the Witcher 4 still, I have one note which I didn't mention before. They are going to use Unreal Engine 5 for now. So for the previous games, they were using their own Red engine, and it worked out fine. It was having a very positive impact on the movements and the fluidity of the movements. I really like the facial expressions and how when they were speaking, you could see that the mouth was really moving as the words came out of the mouth, so it was really consistent. I'm not sure, because they are not really used to Unreal Engine 5, how they are going to be able to incorporate this new engine or into that game, or vice versa, the game into this new engine. So I hope it will not have a negative impact on the graphics side, and I don't mean like the graphics, but like the visual, what we perceive as players. But I'm definitely hoping it will be great. So that one is something that I'm really looking forward to. And then back to the Witcher 1 remake. Let me talk about that one. So the Witcher 1 remake was announced actually in October 22 already. And it will be completely rebuilt as well in the Unreal Engine 5. So from my perspective, because I'm very like visually, I really like to look at the visual side of the games. I'm looking forward to that one, because if you look at the first Witcher game, the original one, of course, it is having very dated graphics. Logically, it was released a few years back. So from a visual perspective, if they really rebuild it in the engine, in the Unreal Engine 5, it should be awesome to watch, and I'm really looking forward to that one. What makes me a little bit skeptical is something which they have mentioned about like modernizing some things, and we already know that they are going to get rid of some of the stuff from the game which could be technically offensive these days. And I'm just not fond of that. I'm really not fond of that. If you are planning a remake, for me, it would make more sense to keep the original, because it was successful, and it was successful for a reason. It was successful that the game as a package was successful. It would make sense to keep everything from the original, and then maybe like improve the graphics, and then also maybe give some additional content, give some additional maybe small side quests. But removing something from the original game, it's not really something so great. And there is a couple of people who actually have the same opinion on that, to be honest, and I will share my screen quickly with you. Yeah, he was collecting the cards. Yeah, we all know what we are talking about exactly. And they want to get rid of those cards, as I understood. So, yeah. Not that I would mind that much, but again, it was a part of the game, and that made the game so interesting as it was, because you had this kind of little feature there. So removing it just because somebody finds it offensive these days, it's really not my cup of coffee, to be honest. So that one is a little bit like what makes me very, what's gonna happen here in this game. I do still have the original. I haven't played it for a very, very long time, so I think I will just like replay it at least once before they come out with this remake version, because what happens oftentimes with games that get such a big remake is that the original game then isn't available anymore. So as long as I can have the original game and I can play it, I'm fine, but I do really hope that they will not like discontinue completely the original game as well when this remake comes out. I mean, I will definitely play it before and have some recording and some saves from that to be sure. Witcher 1 Remake is going to be amazing. The original is very dated visually, but still great game. Let's hope they stay true to the original and just update the graphics. Yeah, that would be nice, but unfortunately I think that's already what they have said, like that there is, how did they say, like there are some outdated parts which will be remade, and I think there was already some information about these sex cards. I will call it as it is, which will be probably removed. So I do believe that they will do more than just, update the graphics, unfortunately. Let me switch to my screen where I have a couple of other stuff related to The Witcher. So let me just quickly go back to that. I just wanted to mention, okay, so if you want to follow up on the news from CDPR, I will post the links as well, so you have the press center releases, and then of course The Witcher has a separate page. There is not so much new now. The last updates and the last most important info that they have released was about the modkit, which we have already discussed. Then there is a list of the upcoming games. I definitely advise you to read that one. It's important in also for people who are interested in Cyberpunk. I'm not talking about it now, but regarding Cyberpunk and updates, there is some info there as well. And then I wanted to show you this actually. This is related to the new Witcher game, to Witcher 4. This is from November 2022, as you can see on the screen, and there was a quiz which they did regarding the Witcher schools. And as you can see, back then, in November 22, the School of the Lynx was not there. It's not available. And that really means for me, it's a completely new school where they probably will have to like figure out the lore and the whole background for this school, just specifically for this new trilogy for The Witcher 4. So might be interesting because we don't know anything about that school. We do know a lot about the other ones, which were existing already before, but we don't know anything about the Link school, so I'm really curious there. And then there is this info about the Witcher 1 remake, and as you can see, it's being remade from the ground up. And I think that somewhere here along, like in between those lines, I'm not going to read it now, but there is also the mention that they are going to change some stuff. So I am very hopeful that it will not be too much of a change and that it will not be for the worse, but for the better. But I do have kind of a question mark here, because what we have seen in the past few years, every time when there was a remake, it wasn't exactly positive in most of the cases. And there is something which somebody posted on that topic as well, with which I highly agree on the Twitter, and that is, classic game gets remastered. It's terrible. People try to get the original version for comparison. Original version is now delisted on Steam, but no matter if it's Steam or other, platforms, you will no longer find it. And somebody is so pissed about it that they said, I wish all publishers that do this a very pleasant go bankrupt. I hope this will not be the case with CDPR, but I definitely do hope that they will keep the original game available as well when they do this remake, because it would be good for comparison. Not everybody had the chance to play the old game or the previous one, the original one, and especially not let's say younger gamers that are new to the franchise. And I'm hoping really that they will keep, at least for a while, both games available, which would be great also for comparison. But yeah, let's see. So what you can see here on the screen is basically my opinion as well, so I do hope this will not happen. So let me switch to some other topics. So this is for now everything regarding the Witcher. I hope it was interesting for you. Yeah, for better looking elves, I completely agree with you. So the elves in the original games or in the first trilogy in The Witcher, those they were not really looking so great, to be honest. It was like if they would create like 2 or 3 NPCs and then copy pasting them all over the game, and you just could see the same 2-3 faces all the time. And if it would be at least like beautiful faces, but I cannot even call them beautiful. That's not what I would call them. And this is something that was for me a little bit like lore breaking. I do like to see beautiful characters in games if they are described in the original canon as beautiful. And what CDPR did with the elves, I don't know. I mean, especially in The Witcher 3, when you look at Avalach's cheeks, so yeah, the triangles here, so it looks like he has ate some Toblerone and it was stuck like in his cheeks. At least that was my impression, so I had a good laugh every time when I have seen the pointy cheeks. I definitely do hope that they will look a little bit better. That much for the Witcher updates from my side. I hope you liked it. I'm not sure if you want to add something more for this topic. There is a last segment here. Lol, yes. Just look at Avalach whenever you see whenever you see him on the screen, or if you see some screenshots or vids. Yeah, that's really like very pointed, so it looks kind of weird. Yeah.